Hello, and welcome to the Incompass show. My name is Sandra Camacho, and as part of the Inner Revolution 35 Cities Coastal Tour, I invite you to join me in exploring the ideas, reflections, and conversations that help us navigate life with greater awareness, purpose, and alignment. Every chapter of our lives has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Some cycles last days, some last years, and some shape entire season of our lives. Yet, many of us spend so much time focusing on what's next that we never pause to understand what is ending. Today's episode is an invitation to reflect, to look back with gratitude, to understand the lessons of the chapter you are completing, and to consciously create the next one. Because every ending contains the seed of a new beginning. Let's explore what it means to close cycles and prepare for what's next. So, what does it mean to close a cycle? Closing a cycle is the conscious act of acknowledging an experience, extracting its lessons, expressing gratitude for its contribution, and releasing it, so that we can move forward with clarity and intention. Closing a cycle is not about forgetting. It is about integrating. It is recognizing that every experience has contributed to who we are today. When we fail to close cycles, we often carry unfinished emotions, unresolved stories, and outdated identities into the next chapter of our lives. As a result, we can find ourselves repeating the same patterns, facing the same lessons, and recreating the same circumstances. This is why closing cycles is so important. It allowed us to pause and ask, where I am standing in my life story? What chapter am I completing? What lessons have I learned? Who have I become through this experience? These questions help us move from living unconsciously to living consciously. And when we become conscious of our journey, something powerful happens. We realize that we are not simply reacting to life. We are acting, participating in its creation. Once a cycle is closed, a space is created. A space for new ideas, a space for new opportunities, a space for new relationships, a space for a new version of ourselves. And this is where conscious creation begins. We gain the ability to ask, what reality do I want to create next? What values will guide me? What purpose will inspire me? What kind of person do I choose to become? The answers to these questions become the foundation of a new chapter, a chapter designed not by accident, but by intention. And this is where our individual journey connects with something larger. Any conscious decision we make influences the collective. And this is the reason that any act of integrity contributes to a culture of integrity. Every act of compassion contributes to a more compassionate society. Each person who chooses to grow contributes to humanity's evolution. The collective consciousness is not something separate from us. It creates through the thoughts, actions, and choices of individuals. When we consciously close cycles and step into new possibilities, we contribute to the evolution of our families, our communities, and our world. As I continue the 35 Cities Coastal Tour, I am constantly reminded that each city, each conversation, and each person is part of this collective journey. A stop represents an opportunity to reflect, learn, connect, and consciously create what comes next. So, today I invite you to ask yourself, what cycle am I ready to close? What lessons I am ready to integrate? And what future I am ready to create? Thank you for joining me. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to follow the 35 Cities Coastal Tour and join us in the city we are currently visiting. Come and be part of the conversations around purpose, values, leadership, integrity, and conscious growth. because the future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create together. As you continue your journey, take a moment to acknowledge how far you have become. Celebrate your growth, honor your lessons, and step confidently into the next chapter of your story. I'm Sandra Camacho. Until next time, keep listening to your inner compass and remember, close with gratitude, move with purpose, and begin with intention.